The 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Is brought to you by Lloyd's Construction and Consulting, providing first-class construction services on 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Happy anniversary, baby. Got you on my mind.
I should get kudos for this.
Happy anniversary, baby.
The fact that I remembered.
Got you on my
We did have the discussion last night about 7:45 that, oh, yeah, it's tomorrow. Let me ask you this.
Is that the national
She's
smoke
listening.
day?
She's listening right now. Right? She's listening right now. So happy anniversary to her. 26 years with me, buddy. You ought to get some sort of medal. Look at Doc raise his eyebrows at that. Everyone's shocked to hear that.
I
And
concur.
you too.
She's a very sweet
You
lady.
people are supposed to be friends, man. I don't like any of y'all. Yeah. So there's that. But tell me, was this wrong? Honey, turn the radio off now. Have a great day.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So my wife keeps all the cards you get her for anniversary.
Uh-huh.
You know, they're in a drawer,
Mhm.
big drawer. Is it wrong? They got to go through the drawer, rifle through back to about 08, find a generic card you've already written and signed and put it in an envelope and leave it there? Is that wrong?
The fact that you're asking
not
that
great.
question would be, you know the answer to that, young man.
I never know the difference. There's been 26 anniversaries. I can go to the 14 or
Did you do that?
2007, put it in there. Happy anniversary.
What about the envelope?
The envelope, same thing. I write the same thing on it. It's been open. It's in the envelope.
Oh, she saves the
She
envelope
saves the
too?
whole thing. She puts it in there. I went rifling through, found one that wasn't dated or time stamped or had any.
You did that?
No, I didn't do that.
I'm not saying it's good, but I also applaud the
Right?
ingenuity.
Isn't that? I thought of that today. I didn't do it.
If you were in a panic. it'd be
Yeah,
one
I
thing.
didn't. Well, first of all, neither one of us cares that much, so I didn't have to do that.
She
but-
is remarkable in that having that characteristic, especially on the ladies' side.
Yeah, that's not a big one for us.
My big one, of course,
Is the anniversary a big one for you guys?
Yes.
You catch it if somehow.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a big one for us.
but
there are others that I get held to the fire.
smartly did have her, and this I would advise this. I will pass this gift on to any who want to enter into a long-term relationship with a lovely other. Ask them to rate the holidays and know what's important, so you
It's your
can,
version of a prenup.
you know when to take care of it and when you can let it slide. And I know what the big ones are, so it helps.
It's savvy.
What are can you share the rankings with the listening
It's
audience? Or
anniversary,
is that
Christmas.
anniversary's number one.
Yes.
So you better show up on anniversary
Yes.
number one. Okay?
Anniversary, Christmas, and then probably
Christmas
her,
is that you don't even need
probably-
to mention. We all know. Everyone.
probably her birthday after that. And
Yeah.
then after that, it's all.
Well, for her,
now some ladies like the whole, you know what today is, right? And you're like, yes, and you have no idea. It's the day we met, or the day of our first date, or
hell no.
Well, some do.
Yeah.
Many.
That's like a young relationship thing. When you've only been
Yeah.
together for a few years, you get down like a long road. There's no way to go back to that exit
yeah.
sign.
Even
Who knows?
even the lovely ladies start to let
I've
it go.
determined that my Mrs. P must not be real romantic because two that aren't big are anniversary and Valentine's Day. I can get away with anything on those two.
Valentine's Day is not big.
Yeah, I think it's probably, you know what? I think Mother's Day might be one for her. And that's not necessarily my responsibility, but I got to gather up those that it is their responsibility.
Yeah, that's
take
a
care of.
tough
And then
one.
birthday is also
I've
is a
argued
big one.
I've argued the Mother's Day one, and it also falls around my birthday. So
you're
Mother's
selfish
Day is
that way.
yeah, it's a tough one for me. It's
Just because Father's Day doesn't matter to us doesn't mean that Mother's Day doesn't matter to them.
no, Mother's Day does matter.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah, so I took that as I don't care if she's not my mother. I'm going to make sure that
Oh, it's fair.
her Mother's Day, I can at least control that. Like, if you can't control it, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if you can, and you can by imploring your children to make sure, then I handle it that way.
I suspect.
Yeah. All right. So much for a little shout out.
Yes. Well done.
Your birthday wish is happy and excited, and thank you for doing what to old Henry.
Oh yeah, Henry.
Yeah.
Shout out, Henry.
Yeah, good. Take that
The
to school.
hammer.
Take that to school today, Henry, and you tell him Dan Hicken told me happy birthday. How's your day going? I've done a little research. I like doing this,
Yes.
Hick. I like doing this, and like last year, I did not want him to take C.J. Henderson, but just reading what was said and what they'd done, I thought they'd take C.J. Henderson number 9 last year, even when maybe that wasn't the most popular.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up.
selection.
So let me ask you this,
Yeah.
because this coincides our one-to-one financial credit union poll question of the day. After listening to Herbs and Balky, what do you think the Jags will do with the 25 pick?
Okay.
The need for speed, in the trenches, D-line, got to talk to Shad, or didn't listen, we're getting Trevor.
Okay, it's funny because you left off a position that there's been a lot of chatter about, and I'm with a group of friends that will kick you in the knee if they don't go with this position. They feel that this is the number one need position. You're bringing in a quarterback, and they want an offensive tackle. They want an offensive tackle.
But that makes no sense.
I'm glad. I hope they're all listening today because I
thought they were educated football fans.
I thought so too. I felt like I was looking at funhouse mirrors with these guys.
Yeah, it doesn't
because
make sense.
here's why. The one group when Urban Meyer came in, he said was good. Was the offensive line.
And then he kept Cam, proving that he meant it.
Didn't just keep him. You franchised the left tackle.
He's going to start.
You like the right tackle on his upside. Why would you draft a guy 25th who's not going to play?
You're not. They're not.
Thank you.
They may take one for depth somewhere along the line.
I tried to say this yesterday before the Urban Meyer press conference, and I got these, again, and because they are pretty well educated. They're not off the wall. I imagine there's a lot of people out there that would argue for offensive line at the end of the first. Not me.
Well, 44% think they're going D-line. 37.3% feel the need for speed. 14% didn't listen because they're getting Trevor. And only 5% said got to talk to Shad. You remember Urban during the press conference said he was talking to Shad, who's going to make the ultimate decision on the first pick overall. But we all know that's going to happen, and it's going to be Trevor Lawrence. So, and he said he's meeting with him either today or tomorrow. So, but yeah, listening to that press conference, I would suspect that that's the route that they're going to go. D-line.
Because he also had a comment about the defensive line. You win in football, you win on the defensive line.
Yeah, now there has to be somebody there who, tickles their fancy, so to speak. I mean, they're not going to. But he did refer to last year how they didn't hit any home runs. There were no long plays, no, backbreakers, no. And obviously, if you go 1-15, you got a lot of areas.
Yeah, because they hit on that and the need for speed, too. So that also raised my eyebrows.
Right. The need for speed is fine. That could be a receiver. So
it could be a safety. I mean, it could be a lot of
safety
areas.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't think it's. I
guess on the text line, they're offering up a variety of our brethren here who have been saying offensive tackle. So it's apparently is a little bit more of a widespread thought.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's not fine to me.
Yeah.
I think it's a dumb pick if you take offensive tackle because you're 1-15, and then Urban did say our first 4 picks need to be immediate impact. You're not taking an offensive tackle with 2 starters.
He's not building for the future.
Correct.
Yeah. If they take an offensive lineman, they want him to start.
Sure.
So.
And that would be dumb to franchise a guy if you were going to take an offensive lineman to start.
Well, maybe they're taking a guard.
Now, Elijah Vera-Tucker is interesting because he would play because he plays all 5 positions, and whoever's injured, he could play. If you take a tackle, he's only replacing a tackle.
I'm not against taking an offensive lineman somewhere. I just don't think I would take him 125 or 33.
I would take 133 depending on what else I got and what's left. But more than anything at 25, I don't want, a third or fourth best player over a top-rated player at another position.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, like if Merrick is the number 1 safety, why would you take the 5th best tackle? That doesn't make any sense to me either. That's also an argument there at 20. By the time he gets to 25, like 3 or 4 or 5 of them are gone.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't think that they're going to go offensive tackle. And after listening to Urban yesterday, I would almost be positive they're not.
Yeah.
And I also will say this. We may think they've done a lot on that defensive line already, and we may think that, the youngsters, some of them are going to, Hamilton is going to improve.
Right.
But they sure sound like a team that needs another playmaker on the defensive line from what they said yesterday. And I don't mean outside rusher. I mean just an interior guy. So it does give more credence to like Barmore if he's there at 25 or 33.
The interesting news that came out yesterday, and we're a week out and everything, and these stories will keep coming up, but you had mentioned Mac Jones slipping up back to number 3 as the betting favorite to end up in San Francisco. And I believe that's because of the situation with Justin Fields.
Well, that's the only thing to speculate. The only news is that Justin Fields is come out and said that he's battling epilepsy.
Yeah.
And we're lucky enough to have Doc Kevin Murphy today in studio so we can say how that would affect. Here's the problem I have with using this as a reason for a fall.
I don't know that no one has said anything like it is, but except the betting, except Vegas. And we're only speculating that would be the reason why.
Okay. Why? Yeah, what's strange about this is that they had Mac Jones third Vegas, and then Fields had jumped over him, and then he's there for a week, and now he's back below him again without anything happening.
He's had other family members, quote, grow out of it. So and he's battled it, or I don't want to say battled it because I guess he manages it. It's never affected him in football. So,
All right. Speaking of medical situations,
but that does lead to seizures.
Yeah, of course it does.
Yeah.
And like I said, we'll get the very latest details, what the risks are, how it's managed, how it's controlled. I would doubt that there aren't players with epilepsy in the NFL. I mean, I don't know that for sure. I don't know what the percentage of the population that has.
Alan Faneca had it.
Yeah, I would think that there. And
Samari Roll had 3 major seizures, keeping him out of 6 games. So there you go.
So it's not widespread, but it has. And Faneca had a long Hall of Fame career. So, speaking of health conditions,
why is Justin Fields has had a very strange road to the draft?
Yeah, he has.
More so than almost anyone that I can. It's like one issue after another issue after another issue, and most of them have been like disputed and thrown away. But it's just weird.
His play on the field has seemed to have overcome that. He never really fell too far.
No.
It's not like he'd take down to 15 or 20.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But yeah, I would think he wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, all right. Speaking of medical issues, and surprising news out of Gainesville yesterday. Now, first and foremost, I don't care if Keontae Johnson never plays basketball again. This is not a Gator.
I'm so happy he's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I would just encourage Keontae to do what's best for his long-term health. However, if he is going to continue to play basketball as a Gator fan, heck yeah, I'd like to see him play another year in Gainesville.
Well, that's what he's going to do if he gets cleared. I'm not sure. It'll be interesting to see.
That's another question for Doc. It's a good one today. It's a good timing today. But, I'll say this.
Yeah.
If Keontae Johnson is able to play, he does return, and he plays for Florida next year, that's like Mike White just got the #1 recruit in college basketball here in May.
It's a little 5-star action.
Yeah. I mean, he was the preseason player of the year in the SEC and was off to a 20 points a game start.
Yeah.
It's a good get in the portal.
Yes. Very good get. Again, I'm with you. I want
to do what's best for him. But if he is going to play, I'd rather be here than there.
Yes. And
especially his decision. I'm not making it for him.
I know that he's gone to we've talked about it, and he's released, and it's kind of he releases the news, but he has been everywhere in terms of getting checked out by doctors. So it'll be interesting going forward.
And he's been active. Like, he went on all the road trips. He's not, it's not like he's been a shut-in since this happened. He's getting himself. And part of the practices, I'm sure that involves getting up and down the court some.
Yep.
So, well, we'll see. It sounds like he feels like he's going to be able to play. That's what it sounds. I don't want to read too much between the lines.
Yeah.
I don't know why you make that statement if you're not. No one's clamoring for it, right? He's got solitude. No one's asking, what are you going to do? Is he going to go pro? And so to come out and say that now at this point.
Well, let's do this. Let's bring Doc Murphy in next and get his thoughts on a bunch of those topics. And Beef, do we have something to give away?
Yeah, baby.
Is it tickets to today's Mets-Cubs clash with Joey LaCasey being forced in to go stop the bleeding for the Metropolitans?
Is that your starter today, Joey LaCasey?
It is
nice. Never heard of him.
It is not.
Former pod great.
Nice.
Pod squatter.
I need a number, though.
I'll be pulling for the baby Bears sweep today.
I'm going to take caller 4 for all of your runs yesterday.
Ouch. I like it.
I don't want to take 16 calls, Dan.
I may come in there.
The only thing that I take umbrage with out
of your head.
Out of all of the
avert your eyes.
Out of the calamitous arguing and threats.
Doc, give me the keys to your vehicle. I'm going to run over Beef.
That went on earlier today. The one that I take bold exception, you're dead wrong, is this notion that Beef's more afraid of me than you. Are you crazy?
Call number 4 right now, 641-1010. Going to take home a $25 gift certificate to Famous Quick Lube. You can use it towards an oil change or other services. And head out there today with XL Primetime. You could score a Trevor Town headband, and you can register to win a multitude of prizes as well.